We are here out on Kentucky Lake drop shot fishing on the ledges.
Now guys, since we're just using an 8-pound test line here and medium action stuff, you know, you're not exactly going to horse these fish in the boat. Now these are post-spawn fish, Chad. They've came out from the beds, they're done, they're moving out toward ledges here, and they're schooled up. And this action is going to go on up into September.
That's a nice fish. I got one about half that size. But glad to have it.
Now I only have one quick question.
Yes.
Does drop shot fishing work?
Well, we've made 2 casts each, and we've had 3 bites.
And
So
2 fish.
That's pretty good.
I just like to take that lead, let it settle on the bottom, and then just twitch the worm. Now, as you can imagine, when I twitch that worm, it's jumping up and down violently underwater. Then I let it settle back down, and I pop it some more. If I don't get bit, after about 3 series of that, then all I want to do is just pull the whole thing to me, about 6 or 8 foot, let it settle back down, take the slack out, and start the process over again.
It really is very similar, but you got a little more weight on there than the shaky head worm fishing. I mean, you're pulling it, snapping it, pulling it a couple feet, setting it back in, settling in, working it again, right?
The only difference is you get a lot more action out of your lure by it being free floating.
Well, yeah, and you put it in a strike zone a little better because you're not on the bottom.
Yeah.
So when did ledge fishing become so popular?
The big change came in the 80s. When sonar became more available to the average user and the definition got good, lake maps came out on chips. All these things contributed to fishermen coming to a lake he's not familiar with. In my case, I've done so much fishing here that, you know, we were using the old triangulation method of finding a good spot with just a flasher. And but whenever you added GPS, the whole concept changed, because a good fisherman now can just look at a GPS map. And back in the day, we were getting the old Corps engineer map, you know, and trying to figure out a good spot, then take a flasher and try to find that spot and catch fish. If you don't have down scan and side scan, you're really missing a whole lot of what's out here to see. Sonar is great, but a lot of that can be misinterpreted. What we want to do is we want to go to this particular waypoint right here.
That's your starting point.
And yeah, we're going to take a look at this spot. You need your buoy handy. I'm going to give you an idea of what we are looking for. As you can see, there's a little ledge right here, and this water's going to come up out of 25 foot pretty quick into shallower water. Now we've jumped up. We're on the edge of this flat. We're going to be looking for a school of fish. Now there's 3 fish right there, no one besides 4. That's not really a good, yeah, there's a little better concentration. Okay, see those fish right there? That's a school of bass. That's how they like to lay, just a little off the bottom and scattered out. Now drop the buoy after I went past those fish. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this graft off, because these fish are ping sensitive. Believe it or not, by the summertime, after they've heard themselves get pinged enough, they realize they associate that with danger, so they're going to leave. So we're going to turn that off, and we're just going to idle on past them. Now I've marked the fish, we know where they're at. So what I'm going to do is just drive on past them. Now that we're past them for a ways, I'm going to shut this down. So now they're not getting pinged and they're not hearing the motor. We're going to turn around and go back to them. If you go back to them with this graft on, you're going to catch 1, maybe 2, and they're going to leave. There he is. Oh, whoa.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He came my way for a minute. Now we're going to go somewhere else.
You let me know if I can help you out up there.
You want to fight it?
Yeah, I'm tired. Like, I've had enough of this fish. You can help me out here.
Well, now, Of course, this sounds better than it is because of the light line and the light tackle. Now let me give you another hint. If you're tournament fishing and you're going to keep these fish, the downside to this is that this fish has to pretty much fight itself out. So it's used a lot of its energy. So it's really important to keep these fish in a really good aerated live well with some type of rejuvenate to keep these fish alive, because they fight themselves out so hard.
It's a pretty fish.
Beautiful fish.
And I noticed that the way you got your worm hooked there, you're not you're coming back. You're not wacky rigging it, but it's
it's down about an inch, and then just through the head. And when you snap this in the water, man, it just does all kind of crazy stuff. And then it floats to the bottom, and then you pop it up again, it does all kind of crazy stuff. And all this is going on right in the strike zone. Yeah. And they just can't take it. They just can't take it, like a cat and a mouse, man. Gotta have it.
You got another one. It feels about like the last one. Now, will yellow bass hit this little worm?
Everything hits this little worm. If you get in a school of white bass, they'll aggravate you to death because you're getting hits and you're not getting caught all the time. My favorite has to be the big cats. They like it too. Or maybe the big drum, they'll hit it.
Almost the exact same fish. Working out pretty good. Drop shot in Kentucky Lake.
Yeah, he's better. Yeah, he's better.
Boy, they're fun to catch on drop shot.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people drop shot, they think you have to do it right straight up and down under the boat, but we're casting these.
Casting these things out. Almost more flipping. Go. I got you. Nice little fish. We're getting bites every, what, third cast or so?
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range, and catching fish like this. Most of them about this size. It's a lot of fun. If you never tried this, definitely get down here to Kentucky Lake and get out on these ledges and try to locate them. It's a lot of fun.
There he is.
There you go. Getting right back in the strike zone there.
That's right.
We've pulled off the buoy.
Oh, he's a little one. That's okay though, he's fun.
Nice.
Don't. See, when they do that's when they throw my worm off.
And all these have been hooked, kind of right at the roof of the mouth, haven't they?
Oh yeah, you rarely miss one. That fish has been hooked before.
Yeah,
Thank you,
sure
somebody, for catch and release.
Yeah, exactly.
From a guy's perspective, drop shot fishing is a real hoot because take the novice, he can catch a bass. I carry some disabled people too, and some stroke victims and different things, and some of the wounded warriors and whatnot. And I'm able to bring them out here, and they maybe would have some type of physical limitation, but this is something that they can do straight up and down. If you've got one hand you can grip a rod with, you can catch a bass.
Oh yeah. And it's not as much casting as either. I mean,
no.
You're throwing a crankbait, you're casting it out, and you're retrieving it, and about every minute you're throwing again less than that, probably 2 or 3 casts.
You're talking about work now.
Yeah.
After they've been power fished hard, you know, there's any number of times that I went right in behind the guy that fished a school of fish that he could see on his graft and did not get bit, assumed the fish wouldn't bite, and then left them. And I come back in with a drop shot, this little finesse worm right behind him, and be very productive on that hole. All right. Show me a big one.
Oh, John.
Oh, you are.
You're not a bad fish.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty fish.
Ah, he flipped your lead off. Oh, there it is. I thought he had it.
This one here's been hooked a time or two as well. You know how much truth there is to it, but I've heard that some fish may bite, and some fish will never, ever hit an artificial lure. Now, how they know the difference, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Feel like you got a good one?
Well, he feels a little better. Either that or he's got a lot more power.
Yeah.
Or it could always be a drum, you know.
It could be a drum. You know, we'll take a drum too. We've caught enough fish today that that's good fish. Caught enough fish today that throwing a little diversity in there wouldn't be a bad thing.
He'll be one more. There we go. Now when he comes home, he'll be good.
There you go.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Caught a couple times too.
Yes, he has.
That hook ain't learning him very well.
Not. Go get real big. I'll come back and get you again.
Thanks a lot for having us down, and I'm sure we'll be back.
Well, come on. If you're not fishing here, you're missing it, man.
You know, and that brings up a good point. If you want to come down here and get in and learn this, you know, you can come down and you can idle around for a couple hours and locate a couple schools of fish. But getting a guide and say, hey, you know, can you show me what I'm looking for on my graph is probably a shortcut that will
save a lot of time. Save a lot of time. Yeah, I'll give you an idea of what you're looking for, where on the break you might be able to find the fish. Cut down your time a whole lot.
What the bass look like versus structure versus bait.
Sure.
You can kind of showcase all that. So it's been educational for me just watching you read that graph.
Hey,
so
if you're not at Kentucky Lake, you're missing it. It's just getting started.
That's right. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
No problem, guys.